can be.
All right.
We can be. We can be. Baseball. We can be. We can be. We can be. Baseball. We can be. We can be. We can be.
That was a nice intro.
All right, now Judge is up.
All right, now, okay. This is a perfect time. I think we are live. I'm gonna go see what's going on all of this shit. Okay, it looks like we are live on Instagram. It looks like there's definitely some lag on there. Nonetheless, we are live. Let me go check out what's going on YouTube. Let's see if we're live on our channel or we are not. Go to view channel. Yep, there's a live stream right here. Channel. Yep, there's a live stream right here. Oh, so it's definitely a lag for us. Channel. Yep, there's a live stream right here. Oh, so there's definitely a lag for us. All right. Well, the YouTube is up. What other one did I do this on? Twitter. So I'm gonna go look up the Twitter. This is a dress rehearsal. So okay. Look, we're live on Twitter as well.
Send me the links.
Okay. Oh, that's a cool background. I like it. All right. Dun, 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 dun. So, as far as YouTube, I'm gonna send you that right here.
Love how I forgot to bring weed.
You forgot to bring weed and a wire. You always forget one or two things. What's it gonna be?
Hopefully not the weed.
The last time we set up a DJ thing, you forgot it
My
too.
computer.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you
Some light here.
So here's the YouTube. I'm sending you all of them. Here's the Instagram.
Wait, this isn't the
And we got 4 people watching us right now, by the way. 5 people over on this one, 2 people on the other one. So you better get your lighting right. You forgot the wire, you forgot the weed. What else did you
You don't
forget
have a
to bring?
plug for the light?
Yeah, we can plug that light in. I'll do it in between next inning. You're just gonna have to suck it up here.
Where do I get the link for the stream?
I'm emailing everything to you right now. If you're watching, this is a dress rehearsal, so to speak.
I'm on the wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the Instagram. All right, well, let's talk about the game here. What do we got here? We're going live. The game is live. Who the fuck is up for the Mariners? I don't know who number 18 is. Oh, that's Garver. Sorry. Just haven't heard much of them all season. Who's 81? What? Tell me about this pitcher.
Luis Heel, he's coming back from Tommy John. He had 14 strikeouts last game.
Well, you know what? He very. Oh no, who was that? Yeah, that was
That's Cabrera.
Garver. No, that was Garver.
Oh.
Okay. Well, 14 strikeouts. The Mariners can match that. You know what I mean? Now, this dude right here, Don Canzone, he's he's one of those guys that I don't know if the Mariners should keep building with him, or is this somebody that another team's gonna want? Have you guys ever heard of him in New York
No.
until this series? He's hurt you this series, though.
It's all right. Pull up some numbers here.
Yeah, pull up some numbers. Hold on. I'm sending you all your fucking bullshit. Oh, we got Hanno and Edmonds already chiming in. Let's see. He said, "Get yourself a roster on your computer."
I got it right here.
Oh man! Oh, so people are actually tuning in on this. I thought we could just set everything
What
up.
kind
live.
of world are we living in when Julio's batting sixth?
Myron, can you drop a top 5 for old time's sake? We got that from Adam Sume. A top 5. A top 5 of what, Sume?
Where are you seeing these chats on YouTube?
Yeah, on the Instagram. All the chats are gonna go through me. All right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is my show.
Yeah, but I gotta make sure they're real.
I know. I'm not giving you my fucking login information. Okay, so you still need the links. All right, sorry, everybody. We're gonna get more. We're gonna get going here shortly, but this is a little bit of BTS or BTS bullshit behind the scenes. Okay, here's the Instagram. You just want the YouTube one? That's easier.
Yeah.
Here. If they want to go to the social medias, it's on social media. There you go. I just sent you it.
Yeah, let's talk about Julio.
Yeah, not much to talk about besides his cleats. I really like his cleats. Since Hanson said let's look up some stats, or let's talk about some stats.
Well, he just wants you to know who the player is on your own team.
Oh, okay, all right.
In the middle part of the order.
Well, Mitch Garver, I'm sorry, he's been forgettable. So I will say that. I will back myself up with that kind of shit. But I do want to say this. I'm going to look up Dylan Moore's stats. Dylan Moore's stats right now going into this game. I think Julio would wake up and agree. He would trade season stats with Dylan Moore. You know, he's only got 120 at bats, but he's got 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, hitting 250, but that OPS is 860. You go over to, let me see if I can add this onto the screen here. You look at Dylan Moore's stats, and then you look at Julio's, and it's, what's the word we want to use? Pedestrian, you know. Julio's got 2 home runs, just struck out there. He's getting his daily 1 or 2 strikeouts. He's going into this game 198 at bats, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs, 263. OPS is 629. So Dylan Moore, who's a role player, who's got to play a little bit more on our team of late, has way better stats than Julio. Like if you were filling out an all-star ballot, Dylan Moore deserves your punch or your selection more than Julio right now. Right now, I'm just saying. That was my attempt to say something controversial to get somebody to talk some shit. All right, we're in between innings right now. We got nobody gives a fuck about this show on there. Mariners was thinking of Draggers. Oh yes. Bruce Dragger, the top 5 Mariners. Top 5, obviously. Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, Ichiro Suzuki. Then I am going to go. God, right after there, you're like, okay, there's the 3 Hall of Famers. Do you put Randy Johnson number 4 or A-Rod? They didn't play as long with the Mariners, but they did have an impact. Who else?
Tino, you said?
Not Tino Martinez.
Wait, this is a
top 5. Top 5 Mariners. Okay, what do we got here?
Gone.
Fuck.
There we go, Stanton.
I'm gonna go. Let's go. We're gonna go. Griffey.
Wait, top 5 what?
Top 5 Mariners.
Yankees?
No, Mariners.
Of all time?
Yeah. Like it's easy. It's Griffey, Edgar, Ichiro. That's 1, 2, 3. And then after that, it gets, I guess we got to throw a pitcher in there. Maybe Felix Hernandez at 4. And then I'm going to say either Randy Johnson or Jamie Moyer. That's my top 5. Nobody on this current
Brett
thing.
Boone?
I don't think he makes the top 5.
Yeah,
I'm not on Odyssey anymore, so I don't have to do any Brett Boone ass kissing anymore. So
either way you slice it, it's a sad list. The Yankees have 5 players on their team now good as those guys.
Who's your top 5 Yankees? Let's see if they stack up against the top
of
5
my life
ever. No, okay, that's not much of a competition.
I mean, if we wanted to talk lifetime, I guess you'd have to say Mariano 1. Jeter 2. Let's see here. I mean, it gets really rough because just going off of what I've seen and the seasons people have put together, I would go A-Rod 3. He won 2 MVPs.
So I guess A-Rod could technically make the Mariners top 5 and your lifetime Yankees top 5.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely one of the best players I've ever seen. And, stats and awards count. So,
well, what about a top 5?
I didn't even get to 4 or 5.
Oh, sorry, I got bored.
I don't know, man. I would probably put. It's rough. I don't know. It's tough. Don't come back to me.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
I want to put Judge. It has to be up there just because of what I've seen him do in these 7 years. Nobody's ever done. Dude, how does Torres is literally setting his whole future on fire?
Why? How's that?
He's in a walk year and he sucks. But the crazy thing is he's still better than Julio. So when I see Julio's numbers and I was like, my God, I thought Torres was a bust. See, that's what happens when you give people money too soon. Some of these players, man, some of these players really need that money motivator.
Right. Well, I was one of these guys that was begging for Gleyber Torres, like this off season before the last one. Definitely.
The Yankees held on to him way too long. He's been trending down. I think it's more of a head issue. Head up his ass usually.
Mm-hmm.
He could be somebody who just is desperate need of a scenery change, even though he doesn't think so. Which is also Lindor on the Mets is in desperate need of a change, and I think you guys should hit up the Mets about him and see what they're willing to pay him to get rid of that contract and get him out of there. I mean, his wife was getting death threats on Instagram. I mean, just like he's batting under 200 still.
You know what's interesting is everybody, oh God, thank
Man.
God that was foul. The Mariners, when they dig themselves a 3-0 hole, it's the odds go down
You know what?
considerably.
Hanno hit me up yesterday when I said something. I think when you guys like hit a home run to just kind of make it interesting yesterday, and he
Mhm.
goes, anything's possible in that ballpark. And I just can't forget the time that he was calling it a cracker box.
Yeah, he calls it a yeah. Yeah, he calls it, what's it called? The cracker box? The bandbox.
Yeah, I've heard bandbox or cracker jack box. He just
Look at these guys behind home plate. Are they always there? These
No.
So we got two. If you're watching this, if you're a Mariners fan and you are one of the privileged who have Root Sports, we got two guys slamming beers right behind home plate, right behind the dish, dressed up like old Parliament judges, right? Or
this look like the SNL seats.
yeah, maybe those are just those might have been SNL extras. God damn it. You guys are scary when you guys have players on base, and I'm not worried about the double in the gap. I'm worried about the 3-run shot. You guys could literally give up 2 hits to the Yankees and they could score 6 runs. You could misplay a ball. You could walk somebody because you're scared of them, and then somebody else is going to make you pay. You guys could lean into 2 good at bats, and it's 6-0.
I gotta trash this broadcast right now.
The Mariners broadcast.
They don't have any numbers. Like, can I see a batting average? Can I see
We'll
switch it up.
We'll go. Yeah, we'll switch it up.
But you know what?
But listen, we're recording over in my joint, so it's my broadcast. We're at your place. We'll listen to that. Yes, bullshit, or what is it?
They are in New York, but
okay.
But how about whoever hits? We switch to the.
We'll do it. We'll do it like the broadcast booths do it. We'll do the first 4 innings. We'll be here right here on Root Sport with Dave Sims, and then we'll swap it up. Middle of the 5th. All right, let's see if we got any. Adam Sume likes the Jamie Moyer. Yeah, Jamie Moyer, like he's one of those guys that like sneaky just put up the stats. He put in the time, he's put in his 1,000,000 hours as a Mariner. I mean, the guy pitched until he was 75 or something like that. But yeah, Jamie Moyer at one point, I forgot what video game it was. I used to use Jamie Moyer and I would just thumb people to death. Like I would just, maybe it was, I don't know. It wasn't Griffey Baseball. It was, God, I'm trying to think of the video game. What was a good baseball game on the PlayStation that people used to play?
The best one ever was, how was it called? Not the show.
It was like EA Baseball.
The
something.
EA one.
There was one where I was unstoppable with Jamie Moyer as my pitcher. I would just thumb stuff like people wouldn't want to play with me.
Like
they were going, this isn't realistic. I'm like, this is how this dude pitches.
2003, 2004. That might have been the last year. Then they got rid of it.
Sume says the 45-mile-an-hour heater. Oh God, my sister has just joined. She's gonna have all kinds of. Yep, we see her on Instagram. My sister Heidi's gonna have all kinds of notes and criticisms of what's going on the broadcast. Hi, she just took my my niece to go see Caitlin Clark versus the Storm.
Caitlin
but
the Butcher.
I about to tell you. What? So what? Give me the Caitlin the Butcher story.
My parents are just UConn fans, and I was just talking sports, and my dad was like, "Hey, what's up with this? I know you guys watch the tournament," and I was like, "What's up with this Caitlin Clark girl? She's the real deal?" And he just goes, "She's a butcher, man. She's just fouling everybody, hanging on everybody."
Well, she's 0-5, I believe, in the WNBA.
Getting lit up.
Well, I mean, she's not on a good team, right?
I mean, it's just, well, you're.
I'm also not gonna act like I'm
You're playing in grown-ups.
WNBA
Well,
analysis.
it's
here,
just
but, yeah,
you're
but-
playing grown-ups who are just like, I don't give a shit about you. Oh, you're making like every single player's got to be getting up to
they're bringing money into the league. She's bringing money into the league.
right. But as a player, when you're on the other side of the team, they're like everybody loves this person. They haven't done shit. Like you could rally around that easy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sume says the best baseball game was Baseball Stars on Nintendo or Roger Clemens Baseball.
MVP baseball, I think it was called. Wait, the EA one. Sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna get the other screen going here. So you're just gonna. How about you just handle the live play-by-play here for a second, Vlad?
Yeah, it was MVP.
All right, keep us going. What do we got going on here? We got Josh Rojas. Okay. He's cooled off, but he's been one of the studs. We got him and Canzone and a guy who's in AAA, Ryan Bliss, for Paul Sewald last year, if you were wondering who the hell they are. Josh Rojas has done a phenomenal job. He's actually doing a great job filling in at the leadoff spot for the Mariners, but with JP Crawford coming back and his cooling off, probably a safe bet to put him down at the bottom of the lineup. Nope, didn't get enough of that one.
God.
I look, the Yankees, they need to put the names on the backs of the jerseys.
I mean, well, they got fucking Star Insurance patch on there now, so I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, how are you going to have a Star Insurance patch before you got somebody's last name?
They've never had them. They're not doing it.
You
don't need them because you actually know who the players are.
Well, I guess the upside to it as a fan is, let's say whatever, you got number 23 and then he gets traded or whatever. And then you don't have to walk around with somebody's name on the back that gets traded. Like I have to get rid of my Mariners jersey when Jerry DiPoto trades it.
True, but
or put it in the closet.
I had number 12 for Soriano, and then when they traded him for A-Rod, I was praying A-Rod was number 12. And in that journey since, number 12 has just been more and more worthless and pathetic and just, bench players, busts. So it just doesn't always work out like that. I mean, if you had 22, you had a Clemens jersey, now you have a Soto jersey 20 years later.
We got people that let's see. Who wants somebody as if you're one of our regulars that comes on the show, you want to come on here. We're talking Kopi, Hanno, the Ninja. This is roll call. See if you guys are listening. I sent you guys the link. There we go. Ty France. Why do you call him Ty Frog? Just
France.
So you guys call them the frogs out there in New York?
No, that's just a slur I heard one time and decided to keep it going.
But didn't you say you guys called the Montreal Canadiens the frogs?
I've heard people. I haven't. I've never been a part of that.
Sebi Zavala.
Armenian?
I don't have much to say about this guy.
Uh-oh.
That's pretty much what you
It's
get.
9 up, 9 down.
Oh, this is Mariners baseball. You don't know? This is what we do. Well, this is wake and bake baseball. But we haven't baked yet. And
sad.
It is sad. You forgot the weed.
You don't have any?
I think we'll see. I don't know. All right, we'll just go on break here for a second. Let me show everybody your track that you made, and we'll see what people think about it.
Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big.
All right, let's go, Soto.
All right, we're back. We ain't got no producer here. So let's oh, we did it. There we are. We're back. We're back. Mariners still down 1-0. Did we get a hit? No.
No, I didn't want to say anything.
You don't want to
I said there was
jinx
9 of
a 3-inning no-hitter?
I mean, look.
What
you
is
know
this, a jamboree?
If I have the power to jinx, then the universe is fucked. But a kind of rainy day, weird day game. That's kind of when weird things, perfection happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at that. Anybody who thinks Soto's signing elsewhere needs to stop smoking shrooms. Every day on the radio, I got to hear the Mets fans or the people think that they have a chance of signing him.
Maybe he wants to play with Julio.
For what?
Nothing. No money. For free.
Well, you guys got money. You're going to be spending money at some point.
What are you talking about? We don't ever spend money.
You made more money than anybody 2 years ago. I don't know what the numbers were last year.
Oh, Sube says we need some Dave Niehaus overlay for this track.
How come I'm the big one here?
Oh, because I was gonna do a little bit of
I have a
Little
question
house
for Mariners fans.
yes.
Is there any shot that Julio doesn't suck long term?
Do you have what are you digging on him so much for? Do you have him on your fantasy team?
No, if he has any shot at turning around, now's the time to buy. So I would like to acquire him if he's going to contribute anything statistically.
Well, last year he did not get himself legitimately going until July. And the year before his rookie year, it took him to about
It's
May.
4 months into the season.
I know. And I just want to say, yes, this is wake and bake. It's pretty sad. We don't have a pipe. How many joint rolling stuff? I've been out of
Actually,
town.
there is. I saw.
Okay. We scavenged some
Come
weed,
on.
and a friend of ours, a collaborator of ours, MacGyver Boland, MacGyvered us an apple, and he hollowed it out on one end, and it's just like this is some Ballard Bridge, like homeless smoking apparatus here.
You know what's really sad? Oh no,
What?
sorry. I was gonna say I don't know how the Yankees scored. No, it was Stanton home run. I just went brain dead for a sec.
Hey, are you seeing a video cord back here?
Yes.
Give me that. So I'll get some stats going here. We'll pull up some shit. We'll put some shit on the screen. We got the second.
Come on. God! All rise.
Oh, fuck.
Here comes the judge. I think the Yankees have only lost like 2 games that Judge and Stanton have both homered in. One was in the Field of Dreams game.
This just in, the Mariners have dug themselves a hole. Can they get the bats going? To get
2-run hole.
2-0. This is like we're getting in the danger zone here.
How much? What were we up the other game? What, 3 runs or 4 when you came back?
Yeah,
on us?
that 1.5% chance of the Mariners winning. Griffey would have robbed that, by the way.
Wow. There we go, Judge. On fire. Shit.
Luke Rayleigh covering that ground.
How does Castillo get that hat on it? Just stay in his.
They got about 5 people. Somebody grabs the back and stretches it. Then somebody grabs the other side. Then they get the jaws of life. And then somebody that's constantly like soaking it so it stretches. That's how they get it on his head.
You think there'd ever be a time where a hat was optional? What if you're like, I just don't like, I'd rather pitch without this hat on?
I mean, they do that in softball.
You don't have to wear that.
No,
Wouldn't that
I
be
watch a
crazy to
softball
see,
game.
Somebody pitching without a hat on.
Well, once you can't wear a hat, then they're gonna be like, "Can you wear shorts?" What if you had a guy that?
Well, they already let them wear whatever color they want for sneak. It gets a little crazy sometimes. If somebody just has a color on that has literally nothing to do with.
Oh, what do you know? We got to plug in the computer. Hold on. Wait, we're on a commercial break. We'll be back. Hold on. We'll be back.
Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big.
All right. There we go. Oh, or is that an error or is that a hit?
Shit. Yeah.
I want E6. The no hitter is still intact. The no hitters. All right, let's see.
Now it's over. Come on. That happens. He's heel
Uh-oh.
is
Private
dealing.
chat. Julio is a bust. Yankee royalty. Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Man. 39 pitches in the fourth. Pretty healthy.
Oh God.
Oh shit. Come on. Yeah, you know how everybody was trashing the Fanatics
Mm-hmm.
jerseys on your guys's? I could see it. Even like the letters look tiny. They changed all the jerseys into the cheap ones. Look at this. Yeah. Come on, Verdugo. That's the kind of shit that pisses my dad off. If Torres does something like that, my dad will be crying for a week.
Is your dad gonna come on the show? Or is he just
I don't
not?
know.
He goes on the Michael K show. He can't come on the show. That's
I think he's
what's the
watching right
deal?
now.
What's the deal? You gonna support your son? Come on.
Where is
And
this?
and one of the Myrons
3 watching. Can you see who's watching?
on those ones. So we got 19 over here. Let's see. We should have promoted this.
Is Hannah or any coming on?
I don't know if she's gonna come on here.
Carl said he's working.
Yeah, he's working. We got let's see, my friend contributor to the show, Chris Copacino, is gonna come on here. This is like our only hope right now. Oh God. Foul ball.
Yeah, he's had a good series.
We got 3 watching over there, 19 watching over here. We got 15 over here.
Oh, they changed it to a hit.
The no-hitter is no longer. He made a good play at getting over to the ball, and then he just kind of bobbled the transfer. I mean, most people are
like an
gonna.
error.
So what is your feeling on scoring? Is it too lenient? We got nobody on Instagram now. Everybody on Instagram gave up on this.
Yeah, it's hard to keep people's attention.
People are just gonna dip in.
I'll pop into a live and then be like, "Well, fuck, I'm out of here."
What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
This is the lowest form of entertainment that I've ever seen.
It'll just be like somebody cooking or. Look at that overcast. I want to know if anybody's watching the actual game also.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody. I mean, like, I would assume more East Coast people are watching the game right now.
Oh, because it's not still. I mean, it's still like lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the Mariners broadcast doesn't want you to just be looking at anybody's statistics. Because they have none. Oof. It's a nasty changeup right there.
All right, I'm on to. I've remembered my Facebook passcode. I'm gonna put this onto the Facebook too. All right, Kopi, what do we got here? Yeah, come on. We've sent you the thing. Chris Copacino, he can keep you busy, Vlad, while I set up the other. Yeah, I haven't smoked, I haven't eaten, I've done no
Hit
kind
that
of
apple. Stanton's home run was 445 feet. Judges had to be pretty deep too. The deep part of the park there.
See, that's what the Mariners are missing big time. Is like they need another star offensively to go along with Julio. I mean, every team that's good has that. You know, they got that twin tower, no pun intended. You know, that style of or look of a lineup. I mean, the Angels, it didn't work for the Angels, but I mean, look, they had Ohtani. They tried. Look at the Dodgers. You know, you got 3 of them. You look at the Yankees, you got 3 of them or 2.5. If Stanton's still.
I mean, look, he's healthy right now.
Yeah, so you got 3 of them.
He's produced when he's not hurt, but it's just been.
You look at Baltimore; they got a couple of sluggers. Young, that Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rushman. I mean, that's an insane combo. You know, you look at the Central in the AL. You know, Cleveland. I guess Cleveland's just a free swinging. They don't take a lot of pitches. Like Cleveland and Minnesota are always just these pesky, annoying teams. Like it seems like they always just trade off on who's going to win the Central. But the Kansas City Royals, keep your eye on them. Here is Mitch Garver. This season, 37.5 hard hit rate for Mitch Garver. 38.9 is the major league average. This is the big free agent offensive pickup that we made. Again, he is hitting below the major league average for hard hit. His K rate is 31.9. MLB average 22.3. His base on ball rate is 11.3 major. So, okay, he's slightly above better at getting walks. That's the big draw, the big draw here for this guy.
There we go. They got to change that back to a error.
Oh, good. We got Chris Copacino coming on. All right, we're going into our break here for a second. Because you know. Oh, I thought I was getting a break here.
Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big. Quick and big. Baseball. Quick and big. Quick and big.
All right, we got Chris Copacino joining us here up in the booth for the bottom of the fourth inning. What's going on, Copy?
Just hoping we get some runs here, man. It's nice to see some dudes from the Yankees like Joe Big Fly, and wish you could replicate.
Yeah, I was telling Vlad right now. This is the point of the game when we're down 2-0, no hits. Well, we got the scorer's decision hit about through the fourth inning. I would usually say this is when we get stressed, but this is typically how the Mariners play, one way or the other, whether it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. But there are days where they're just like, hey, we're just not going to hit.
What's up, Chris?
How you doing, man?
Good. What I miss? A base hit?
Yeah.
Back pitch.
Oh,
But that's the thing with the Yankees. You just cannot give them base runners. It's so scary.
Especially in that ballpark.
Rizzo. He stands right on the plate, so he gets hit a lot.
Yeah, the slider, he didn't move at all. Just got dotted.
Yeah, man. So, what are you working today? You got the day off? What's going on?
No, we're working, man. I wanted to. I like the idea of the Wake and Bake live stream, so I wanted to jump on for a little bit before I have to turn my attention back.
We had turntables and everything, but we're missing a cord. We're missing any kind of smoking apparatus. Somebody made an apple.
Double play ball.
I've been
One,
out.
two.
Oh, you're a little bit ahead of us. There it is. Double play. 6, 4, 3. So Gleyber Torres, you've been very down on him this year.
For years. He just his game is falling apart. I mean, he might show flashes. I mean, it's crazy to think after his first year in the league, and maybe towards the end of his first year, you got Judge, looking like a generational player, and then you were like, man, Gleyber might be the best hitter on the team. And then one year he hit 40 home runs, and now he stinks. There we go.
I remember a couple off seasons ago, Gleyber Torres, if you remember that right, Kobe, he was like he was one of the talking points if we were going to trade with the Yankees.
Yeah.
And I was all about it. I have to admit it. I was all about hey, but I kept on being like, we'll send you Chris Flexen or somebody like that.
I forgot who I wanted. One of your pitchers, but
Logan Gilbert. You wanted Logan Gilbert, and I was almost like, you know what? Maybe, I don't know.
But that's the thing too, right? You got to trade people when they're good, but then when they're good, you want them. So,
Kobe, how do you feel about the Mariners trading? Some prospects. I feel like it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to see it this off during before or around the trade deadline.
Yeah, I think it would be organizational disservice and malpractice if they didn't move some of these prospects this year for some help. I think you're going to see they need another leverage arm in the bullpen. That's pretty clear. They've been leaning on Stanek, who has pitched better than his numbers indicate, but even then you can't just march him out every day, and then you can't have Munoz, pitch every day. And they were expecting Brash to help out in closing roles. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So they're going to need another leverage arm. So I think that's going to happen. And I also think eventually you're going to see them trade for a third baseman, which I think is important because Urias is not the guy. Obviously, Rojas and Moore can hold down second base. And I think that's fine. But they need Ty has been hitting a little bit better lately, and so I think they're going to ride him as much as they can. But to get a proven bat at third base, I think is going to be important as they go into the deadline time, and they have the prospects. They have them.
Yeah, I agree with you about we got to get realistically around the corners. One. I mean, Ty's been, showing us signs of hey, I can still probably hit around 20 home runs, hit about 270 something, knocking 70 RBIs, played great defense at first base. But would I like an upgrade with Pete Alonso? Sure. But third base, you're right. You've had three guys that possibly could play there, right? With more.
I mean,
And,
that's
and
still an old
I still,
school thing, but like you need good production out of your corner
You do.
infield.
you definitely do. But I feel like
Even 20 home
Yeah.
runs is like, ugh.
first or third. I think third. We have the guys that can hold it down, or they've held us down to this point. But then you got to upgrade. I mean, we're talking with a Yankee guy here, where they just go out and do what they do,
I mean,
and that's got to be fun growing up like that. I don't even know what it's like.
they haven't really been doing as much of that, but things have been coming together. But yeah, I mean, remember back then, like getting 30 and 100 out of a corner infielder was like easy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The early 2000s, like everybody had 30 and 100.
Oh yeah, I was watching like an old clip, and it was like from like, I don't know, 96 or something like that, and it was like a Orioles Mariners game, and it was like everybody, even the like 8 hitter had like 15 home runs, like everybody was hitting like 320, 318. Like the worst average on the team was our first baseman, who was who's his name? Paul
250 was
Sorrento.
bad.
Was that this guy's name? Paul Sorrento. And he was like, hey, yeah, he was hitting like 250, only had like 20 jacks and 80 RBIs. And you're like, I remember
Ugh.
going like, this is an automatic out.
Or you're like, you're barely a major league player.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way, and I think it's become pretty obvious. Like, the pitching is so good, and it's not going to slump. And then, therefore, you just need to be able to get to a threshold of 3 or 4 or 5 runs a game, and you got to lengthen that lineup. And they are, coming into today, 5 games above 500 in first place, and offense has been dog shit so far, like bad, just bad. And Julio hasn't done anything. So, if they get into the tournament with that pitching staff, those three in a 5 game series, maybe a fourth in a 7 game series, forget about it. But you need to be able to score runs, and it actually it puts the pressure on them a lot. I think organizationally to win now, because they have an opportunity. Texas is not playing well. Obviously, the Yankees and the Orioles in the East are very good, but the Astros are dog shit, and the rest of the Western Division's dog shit, and Central doesn't scare me. I'm a little concerned about Polanco.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, they have to make that move, and I think they will. I think they will.
I think I mean, like, there really is only 3 good teams in the American League.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yankees, Orioles, Mariners.
Well, I feel like this year, whoever wins the West, that's pretty much going to be probably the only representative from the AL West. I don't think you're going to see a second wild card come out, especially when you look at the records right now, and it's like, you guys have a great record, Orioles have a great record. I don't see slippage with your guys' team. Maybe one of the teams in the Central could have some slippage, but I would automatically say 2 teams are probably coming out of the East, and I have a feeling this year you're going to see 2 to 3 come out of the Central.
No way.
Because there's 6 teams. Like, I feel like the Mariners
Texas still has all good players.
Sure. They're 2 games under 500 right now. I mean,
yeah, I think unless they get those starting pitchers back, I mean, that's going to be the big thing on Texas, right? Is if they can get those starting pitchers back and they can carry them in the second half and have those be like trade deadline acquisitions almost, then because they have the offense, but they're into their not a lot of teams have that depth where you can go like, hey, what's your 7th and 8th starter look like? You're just going to struggle. You're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, to me, I feel like the power shift has changed. Where I felt like the West, the last 2 years, we were probably the toughest division. Look, you had both World Series teams come out of the division, so there's an arguing point there. But I just look at again. I look at the Yankees and I look at the Orioles. I don't think they're gonna. That's just gonna be a neck to neck fight the whole way
It's a
through.
long way to go. You know, anybody who's good is an injury away.
You guys aren't an injury away from being
What?
bad. Being bad. You guys,
Yesterday
you guys have,
we
you
were
guys have.
literally we're always a judge injury away from being bad.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Um,
But I mean, like you guys got so many dogs that
doesn't
like.
matter, man. It's you know it's how the pieces come together. You know,
I will take the Mariners though. However, up against anybody in a series. My
100%.
my thing is they're not great. We haven't seen the great marathon run from the Mariners. You know, they got to
Yeah.
play 162. Can they get past this level to get to this level? I mean, you're seeing it right here.
I think we're right behind you guys in ERA,
Yeah.
starting pitcher ERA without Cole,
Right.
the best pitcher in the American League easily.
Mm,
You
one
know,
of them.
who else? Numbers.
Well, let's look it up. Let's do. Are we going to make up some numbers, or you want me to look up some numbers? Your call. I would
Oof,
say.
no.
Let's see. We'll pull this up. We'll pull this up right now. We got
Also, you really can't. I know the Astros suck and I hate them, but you know, in baseball, you could go on a 25 game, 30 game tear.
Yeah. Well, the Mariner, we've had to wait for that the last couple of seasons. Like right now, even if you go back into any of our episodes, if you went back 1 year from now or 2 years from now, this is about the time when people are asking for people to be fired, right, Kobe? That's basically
Yeah,
what the
great
Mariners
story.
Twitter.
I want you to
This
pay
year it
attention.
happened the first 2 weeks, and then they played off.
I want you to watch this Soto at bat. Like his entire at bat is fun to watch.
It's always
It's on
competitive.
Netflix.
Well, that's like the thing with the Mariners, and not to be all doom and gloom, but when they try to thread the needles with these free agent
Yeah.
acquisitions that are on the fringe, the Polancos, the Garvers, you know, there's just not that margin for error. And I heard Jeff Passan on local radio earlier this week, and he's just talking about they need a dude, the guy that you count on as a dude, and that's what Soto. I mean, that's why you get the money. You can pencil what he's going to do in. And it's really hard to do on the Mariners because they have no margin for error. And Garver has been shit this year. Polanco has been shit and
Oh,
hurt now this year.
you got to do both. You know, you got to like try to make smart trades and find some gems, but you also do have to have this solid, best in the world players too.
I guess my point is I just wish that, one of these acquisitions the Mariners made weren't like, hey, if he stays healthy and if he can replicate 2019 and if this and if that. It's like, no, this is what he's going to do.
Yeah, you don't want any. I'm tired of the if, and if you there's no more if. Like look, Mitch Garver, Polanco,
Here we go.
they've been duds so far, and they've both had injury problems. And I think that was like the thing we were like, hey, are they going to be healthy? And when they're healthy, are they going to have these numbers? With Garver, it's like he benefited from having, playing in the World Series and played in big moments. And his price range was about what the Mariners could spend. Polanco, is injury plagued. I mean, we talked about it before, soft tissue stuff in the hamstrings.
Theo wanted no piece of Soto. So let's see. Now he's in trouble.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. You pitch around one guy on this lineup. You know, you're always in danger of that big 3-run home run at any point.
But especially when they're actually hitting good, and then it gets fun.
I thought on that Judge home run that Julio was going to rob that thing up on top of the wall. He climbed. He was up on top of that thing.
Yeah.
Just sitting there waiting for it.
So Vlad's been sitting here digging in on Julio. What's your problem with him?
Yeah, I mean it's like you know look at the numbers. He's done nothing.
Yeah, it's been really bad.
It's and like I was saying before, I was like, I mean, I've been killing Torres this year because I'm like, you're in a walk year. You've sucked for years. I don't know what it's going to take to do something consistently. And even his numbers are better than when I saw Julio's numbers come up the other day. I was like, holy shit! I didn't think he's supposed to be. I mean, Julio went like number 1 or 2 in my fantasy draft, or ones that I've seen, and I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, I know he's good. Trust me. I mean, I've been following him since he came up, but oh wow, you're gonna walk them both. All right.
Oh,
You got
Castillo's hot. I think this is the game Service might decide just to get run, just to show his team he has his back, because that's like the third or fourth pitch at the bottom of the zone he hasn't gotten. I had a Soto at bat earlier, that 10 pitch at bat where he struck out. He had him struck out earlier in that account on a changeup, dirty changeup at the bottom of the zone that was called a ball.
Yeah, I'd love to see Service get rung up and thrown out more. I mean,
I think you're gonna see it in this game. Just that's my bet, because that's about the fourth pitch that's just been dog shit at the bottom of the zone.
And if you got the DraftKings Sports app, you can bet on Service getting tossed.
yeah. Hey, so here's something that Vlad likes to chew on a lot, just like the Ninja. You want the automatic strike zone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I think you're gonna see that the minor league system with the tap on the helmet. I think you're gonna see that.
I mean, it's just like I'm sick of seeing Judge strike out on a pitch, on his toes. It's just like too many umpires don't adjust the strike zone for a giant.
Yeah, no, it's a problem, and I don't know if the automatic strike zone is going to be viable. Oh my god, great play, but bobbled it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know if I don't know if the automatic strike zone is going to be viable, but I think the minor league system of the the reviews can come from the catcher, the hitter, and the pitcher, and they get a certain amount, and they just tap their hat, and they go right up, and it's quick. It's like 10 seconds. It's like tennis. If you watch tennis when they do those reviews, super quick, and it works like a gem.
Wow. So they second guess the call as opposed to I thought there was a system in place that it was just it hits a virtual box and the umpire just relays what the computer says. Is that's not one of the
I think
processes?
they may be testing that. I'm not sure what I've seen, and I think what's just the most viable is where they have the box and they're monitoring every pitch. They still have the human umpire calling it, but at any point, the catcher, the hitter, or the pitcher can ask for a review, and then they just go upstairs real quick, and it's like 5 seconds. Like I've seen it. I've seen video in the minor leagues, and
Like it
it's
would
like
be every play. You know how these guys are. The pitcher wants every call. The catcher is framing everything, and the bat wouldn't every single pitch be questioned?
well, I think there's a certain I forget what it is. There's a certain limit on how many you can have and all these different things, so it keeps the game going. But the thing about these hitters is they know the strike zone so well, and they know these balls. They're down, out, up, and so they very quickly go, nope, just tap on the hat, and then they're able to get to it.
That's cool. I'd like to see any of them. I mean,
This
at the
game's
end,
about
there's been games where you're like, you've been saved by a bad call, and you like it when it happens to you, but in reality, it's it shouldn't be that way.
game's gonna get out of control very quickly. I'm guessing.
Oh man,
Um, Yeah, you know what's interesting? I was thinking about this is like if you look at you're talking about Julio earlier. Have you look at like Corbin Carroll and Ellie De La Cruz? Like they're having struggles too. So there is this thing about young guys who have early success and then the league adjusts, and it sounds so cliche, like you have to make the adjustment, but it's so true. And then you know they become undisciplined trying to chase it, and like Julio's bat path is so long right now. It's
Yeah.
so long, and it's brutal. But I think you're going to see him pick it up in a big way. Like I think you're really going to see him fire at some point.
I mean,
He's actually
but and that's when these other things come into play too. Like when it's like everybody knows he's a good young hitter, and like I said too, like the long bat path is what everybody talks about when somebody's struggling, and you can see it. It's just your swing's a mess, but having somebody to protect him when when he's good, that's that has a reputation. Like you guys need a solid, real power hitter, and then you need another guy, and then your offense will be looking good with Julio doing something.
yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
It's just
it's just been lean. Yeah,
not a lot of players could not a lot of top level players can be consistently good with no protection. Judge is one of them. That year, a couple of years ago, when the Yankees, the rest of the team literally sucked the rest of the year, and Judge hit 62. I don't know how he was doing it without anybody being scared of anybody else's bat. And Devers seems to do it on Boston, but it's hard.
yeah, it's really hard, especially for a younger guy.
Yeah, get in your head a
Who,
little bit,
yeah,
and you you haven't. There's nobody there to Judge could go through a slump as long as somebody else, they're good, they have reputations. The pitchers, even when you're slumping, they know who you are, kind of thing.
yep, yep.
Kobe, is your volume on your game on?
It's down really low. Can you hear it?
No, there was something. Maybe it was us. All good. It's a fucking live stream. Yeah, we're thinking about doing these more often because we're basically gonna kind of start doing a like a more like not just Mariners centric baseball podcast. And
I think this is it.
yeah, you just get a game once.
We could talk. We could talk about every team. We could talk about.
You got the big inning. You got the MLB thing now. Where, bam! That's why they call him the fucking Rock. Were you just waiting for that, Kobe? Or you're ahead of us, huh? He wanted. I remember too.
I wanted Castillo back.
It was Castillo, and then who'd you guys end up getting?
Montas.
Remember those were the two guys a couple of years ago, Kobe.
Yeah.
It was either Montas or Castillo, and we saw Montas all the time, and I was dead set on Castillo too.
He had just played us on the Reds, and he looked great. And then when you guys got him, then he pitched against us again.
Twice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
in a week.
Yeah, and dominated both times. And
Yeah.
he was the guy. He's nasty. I mean, you have to shave his dreads off to.
Yeah. Vlad asked earlier, how does he get that hat on his head? And I said that the Mariners got about 4 guys that he's got a crew that puts that thing on, takes it off. He takes that hat off as soon as he can. Do you ever notice that? That hat. He's like strike 3. This he takes his glove off. He kisses to the heavens, and then he takes that hat off, and that shit stays off until this. Hey, guess what? We got the other screen up now. Now we can get stats going. We actually turned on the light. The lighting in here was pretty rough at one point. There we go. So even though it's commercial break, I need your official opinion as honest as you can be, Kopi.
Yeah.
what do you think about the commercials? They kind of seem like they
Yeah.
fade into the background to me, to be honest with you. But I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not.
I mean, yeah. So, you know, yeah, I mean, they're done in house. They look homespun. There's ideas in each of them. Like there's good concepts in each of them, right? Like the rock, the the no fly zone, the big dumper. There's ideas there. I mean, this is gonna sound very like, you know, creative, classy, but like they're just not executed well, right? The performance, like they don't help the players out with performances.
No,
The comedic timing is off. Just the composition of shots and how you craft comedy is off. It's just and they feel it. Like there's like these weird little pauses that are too long, or the line isn't delivered well, and you feel it. So I mean,
editing too is a little. You can listen. You can edit around some of the worst acting performances. And I do want to say this. Some people might get mad, but who the fuck is even? Well, we got 25 people watching here. Uh, uh, they definitely do not teach acting lessons at Driveline because that Ty France, JP Crawford one,
yeah,
I can't.
dude.
And that's actually La Piedra's commercial, but I'm so distracted by the acting. I'm sorry. I just,
And that was the thing. That was the thing that we always learned and knew shooting those spots is you can't ask them to act more than they can. So you have to keep the dialogue short, use cuts,
right.
all these different things. So they can still have performance and it works, but you're not asking them to be, thespians, which they're not. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's cool to see them back. And I just, from a love of what we did and also from what the concepts could be, I just think they could have been executed a ton better. But at the end of the day, who cares?
Yeah, like the Cal Raleigh thing. I was waiting for more to happen. The La Piedra one, yeah, it's a good blow at the end. But when they were like saying, "Hey, he takes this rock thing serious," I would have just went on a run of
Yeah.
games of how many things that you could, you know, rock analogies that you could make, and you know, do
Right.
like an analogous of things, a parade of things, and but at least they tried to bring him back, but you definitely could not. You could definitely could see it was not Copacino, Fujikato.
Totally. Yep. It wasn't, but it's a little bit of like, you know, spurned, like, jealous lover stuff. So, at the end of the day, who cares?
I'm just looking for hot takes. I'm just
Yeah.
looking
No,
for.
yeah.
Troy said
I,
he's gonna call when he leaves.
So we were talking here. Chris Copacino's his dad started doing the commercials for the Mariners years and
Oh,
like
nice.
during the heyday and just right around COVID, their firm, Copacino Fujikato, uh, they stopped their relationship with the Mariners as far as doing the commercials, but they did all the sketch commercials that kind of caught on as a craze, and you saw other major league teams
Steal it.
doing it. This is a great idea. And then they stopped. And then this year they brought them back because people were like, where the fuck are the commercials? And they're just the people that know the real ones, you could just tell the quality of it. It's kind of like, look, when Mad TV, I'm using Mad TV reference, but when Mad TV tried to bring back Mad TV, hey, we had some friends that were on that. Sorry.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It wasn't a great idea. They tried to bring it back with like all brand new people. And
They also blew their budget, and then like all the rest of the episodes were like green screen.
I know. Well, the Mariners, they put their money into certain things. It's very strange, but
It became a TikTok sketch show
yeah,
before.
yeah. The Mariners are hardcore on Instagram and TikTok. I mean, that's kind of maybe where I feel like you said, the in-house. That's the angle that they've taken. It seems like
yeah. And the reality is that's the best channels for them, right? I mean, the best stuff that they can offer is content behind the scenes, personality of players, real time stuff. They don't need the overly produced stuff necessarily. For it's more goodwill, and that's where we got to for a long time. It was just more goodwill than it was, you know, like attendance driving. So, hey, Myron, I'm gonna have to bounce here in a second. I gotta get on to some other things, so I'm gonna have to roll.
All right. Well, thanks for having you on. I'll be back up in Seattle in about a week. And well, we got to record. Is your dad up there now?
He is. Yeah.
Okay.
When you're back, let's do something.
Stumble down to the cabin and put something together. I know. I got to talk to him about his article he wrote in the Seattle Times. He just texted me the other day. So
I'll be there in the fall, of course.
and he'll be in there. He'll be there for the Yankee series. It comes every year.
Nice, love it. Let's get together.
Late.
All right, be good. Thanks.
Ooh.
All right. Who else? Who else?
Troy said he'll call when he gets out of the gym.
Well, you know who we should call? I feel like it's almost time to call Grandma Norma.
Go for it.
In between innings. We'll have to see. So we need a ratings boost right now. We give her a call. Rye bread and mustard live. Let's see. We got 2 people on Instagram. We got where are we getting all these other people from? Are they just going straight through StreamYard? So this is pretty much one of the days of Mariners hitting that drives us insane. Because look what The Rock has done against you. Castillo has wiggled his way out of.
My dad says, "How do I call in?"
We can call him.
You call him. All right.
Yeah. Okay. We'll call your dad. Tell him. You can hear something. Tell him to expect our call in between innings here. I do like JP Crawford's uniform choice since he's come back from the IL. I like the stirrups. Like, how are you wearing your uniform if you're out there?
I'd probably wear high socks, no stirrups.
Like this?
Yeah.
I would go with the stirrups. The only thing I didn't like about the stirrups was you could feel it on the bottom of your foot. So you had to. So if I wore stirrups, I'd have to wear a thick sock.
I hated him.
Of course, I was getting my shit at like Big Five. You know what I mean? They probably they're made out of like lamb skin or something. You know, they're like nice and soft. Let's see. Let's go to some of the comments here. There aren't any. We must be doing a good job.
Might be themed the last to heal soon. Man. Yeah, look at Castillo. Imagine he just was pitching looking like that. No hat on.
Yeah, he was coming out of the game, it looks like. You're going to get Trent Thornton.
Man, 4 straight out the zone. Wait. Wow. They called that a strike. I think Chris might be right here. That was a bad call. Also, as we mentioned, the robot umps, like they're having a bad year. Or I don't know if maybe that's just what the media has just been, picking up on it more. But I mean,
Well,
you've
yeah,
seen some crazy
there's
things.
so many different ways to sit here and police the job that they're doing.
Did you see them throw somebody out of the Mariners, the Marlins game, and they had no idea who said anything?
Mm.
And he was like, I'm throwing somebody out. You pick them. Is this a mound visit here?
Dude, there we go. Wait. Did you see this feature that we can do? This is why this was tough to do without having a producer right here off to the side. But basically we can just pull up.
I have one of those Stream Deck things where you preset it up and then you push a button and it switches. For every Julio at bat.
Here we go. It's the Vibrant Butchered Mariners podcast. I did that fucking intro when we first started the show, just as a placeholder, as a joke, and then I was just lazy and I was like, I'll leave it there. And when I moved over to Odyssey, I cleaned that shit out.
Since when?
Best average with runners in scoring position since May 7th.
The
So the last 2
stats they
weeks,
come up with
since
this day,
at this time, at this point in history.
I sent you a real stupid one the other day. First guy to get thrown to get thrown out, going for an in the park home run since.
All I care about is what the scoreboard is. I was listening to Eric Burns and Will Clark, and they were talking about how they feel like the RBIs is something that just gets overlooked now. And I go, it is. And it's and it's like runs and producing runs to me are the two most important things, because that's what the game is about. Scoring runs and helping score runs. Yeah. That's it. That's it. All the other stats, you can take them.
Yeah, you have to
drive in runs. Okay. Trying to keep it.
Oh, there we go. Back on track here. All right, you want to make the call?
Yeah, let's call. We're gonna call Vlad's dad. Famously, you may have heard him getting chewed up on the Michael K show. Here we go. Tell him we're calling.
Go for it.
It's been forwarded to voicemail. Oh, okay. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Yeah, he already sent us to voicemail. Oh, let's do it again.
Forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Tell him it's a Long Beach, California number.
It's going straight to voicemail. You said not sure. Try again.
All right. So I was going to tell you too. I'll call him right now. This screen right here, look on your screen. I got the stats up, so now I can pull anything up that you want.
Cool.
Okay.
Has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is.
Give him our number. My phone is hooked up through the Bluetooth on the Roadcaster.
You see your phone again? What? I know my mom's number by heart, and it's literally only 3 numbers are different.
Hello.
John from Connecticut, you're live here on the
Hello.
Rye Bread and Mustard presentation of Wake and Bake
Hello.
Baseball.
Can
Hey,
you
hold
hear?
on a second.
Rye Bread and Mustard presentation of Wake and Bake Baseball.
Hi.
Yeah, I think the computer's probably or the stream is probably
You got to get the stream off.
yeah, you turn that volume down while you're on.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I don't know what happened. I'm over here waiting on the phone, and it goes right into voicemail. This happens to me all the time. No idea. Sitting right here waiting.
So
How you guys doing? Okay.
good. What are your thoughts on the Seattle Mariners this series? This is your first look at them this season.
Well, it was a nice comeback win for them the other day. I mean, you know, Boone did his thing and went through everybody in the bullpen there. See how hard he can. You know how he can blow the game for them. I mean,
That was, you got to give it to him, though. That was kind of seemed like one of the first time he's done that in a while.
yeah. I think this game here I'm watching. I think that the scorer made a mistake. I think that was an error. He had plenty of time to throw him.
I know.
That was yeah. And
made
they're
the
in
throw.
Yankee Stadium too. Huh? They're in Yankee Stadium. I'm surprised they would, you know,
How long
not
do they
give him
have
the
to
benefit
switch
of
it?
the doubt.
Well, I think they can go back and change it
theoretically-
after the game.
Yeah, they can theoretically look at it after the game and go back and say that it's, you know,
See,
it wasn't. It was an error.
see this Ty
Yeah,
France
plenty of
play
time.
that was an error to me. The play. I'm not trying to advocate for a single because this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this. I don't want this to be a one hitter and we look at that, but he made a good play to get to it, but then he bobbled it. But I hear you. You could still be like, all right, you got to the ball. You have plenty of time, and then you fuck that part up.
He
Then that's
bobbled it,
an error. It doesn't matter if you get to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had time. He was even just calm there. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they were thinking there.
Yeah, I think that was a bad call. But you know, just been going in and out of the games and everything, so I don't really have too much of an opinion on you know, about the Mariners right now. I mean, I think Julio's going to bounce out of it. The cream rises to the top, so I think at some point he'll. You know, there's a lot of guys that are struggling in the beginning of the year, and
It is a
I think,
league-wide thing. I mean, it
Yeah,
even
I mean,
hit
we're-
Judge this year. You know.
Yeah, and there's
yeah,
some players just come on strong on the second half. That's what we've seen from him so far in his short career. Both years he's finished both seasons really strong, and he started really slow. Last year it was like, hey, there's a lot of pressure on him on his sophomore season. They're also, you know, shoving the All-Star game in Seattle up everybody's ass, and they put him on the team when. Honestly, he didn't deserve to be on the team with those stats. If you just looked at a naked stat line and been
Also,
like,
who else
we
were
didn't
they
know
gonna
this,
put?
right? And then he does the home run derby, and then he gets himself going, and then he puts on
Nice.
he puts on this historic, you know,
yeah.
streak
But
there,
he
streak
puts
that
up
he went on.
numbers and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people argue, like my cousin will always give me all these hard hit rates and this and that. I don't care about none of those stats. I know that they're there to. I shouldn't say I don't care about them. They're there to show that there's value besides the
Out?
typicals. Ooh, that might be out, but
Well,
Ooh.
they just came
Ow.
up with some new stats that they're going to be. I know they had with the what are they doing now with the bat speed and all that other stuff. They
Launch
just came out with
angle.
something like this week. Yeah,
yeah, you go to a game at T-Mobile Park. Every stat's on the screen. You don't even know where to look or what.
Wow.
Like to me, still RBIs.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
scoring
absolutely.
runs and those kinds of
Yeah.
things to me, because you're like, isn't that the point of the game? You know?
yeah. You can't win if you don't score.
Yeah. If you
Well,
get
I
a
mean,
board,
that's been his. that's in our history a little bit too. You know, we got all these good hitters, and
Should be sliding with his
sometimes
other
when we
arm.
get into the playoffs and stuff, everybody gets in a slump at one time,
Yeah.
and you're not, you know, ball game over.
Right.
Hey, just one thing that you were talking about before, what about the top five Mariners?
Yeah.
What about Edgar? Do you think Edgar should be
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
there?
Edgar, Griffey,
Yeah,
Edgar, Ichiro. Those are my like 1, 2, and 3.
and A-Rod, yeah.
And then, I guess you got to put A-Rod until somebody else comes up with some numbers. He only played for the Mariners for 4 or 5 years. You know, he played
He
in the
was, but
90s. Yeah. But he put up like 10
he was
years worth of,
unbelievable. I mean,
yeah, no doubt. He put up 10 years worth of numbers in like 5 years for it's like 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah,
I'm-
you guys not putting him on the list is more.
I mean, he was a great
personal.
fielder.
Yeah, I put Jamie Moyer.
Yeah, he's
Jamie Moyer. Yeah, he pitched forever. That guy.
Yeah, he did.
You're
I
like John
remember being at
Olerud?
playoff. Yeah,
No, I'm just saying.
I remember being at a Yankee playoff game against the Mariners in the old stadium. Sitting in the left field seats, A-Rod crushed one into the second deck.
Oh, so in
It was like a bullet, man.
yeah,
Bullet.
in 2000.
I think that's when it was. Yeah,
and when he hit that home run, was that in the game that you guys were clinching? And they were basically like, talking on the whole broadcast was just talking about that whole broadcast. I remember it was all about this is probably A-Rod's last game in a Mariners uniform, and
wow.
you know, but you know, one of the things that we have been forced to celebrate forever and ever and ever in Seattle was the 95 series. Baseball comes out of the strike. We have the 5-game series. You guys go up the first 2 games. I was at game 5 when Edgar knocked in Griffey. I was in the left field bleachers. So when that ball was hit down the line, it was hit right at me.
Wow.
But that was one of the best games. I mean, it's always on one of the top 5s. That's you also had
we were at all the
their top 10 games. Yeah, you went to, so you guys were at all the New York games. So you were there when Larrett hit the home run.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been to quite a World Series with the Boggs on the horses. The Jeffrey
Mayer?
Mauer again?
Mayer
in right field when he caught the ball, and they ruled it a home run for Jeter. We were there for when Jeter became Mr. November.
Yeah. But
a
the
lot of,
Lawrence
a
game,
lot of,
that was at that point in time was my favorite game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the Yankees just weren't good my whole childhood. And that was just like, wow, we're
teenage years. That's when the Mariners got better as a teenage. When I was growing up, they were terrible, and then I got to be about middle school. They started to get good. But even in that 95 series, you guys hadn't been to the playoffs in a while either. So that was like
our
a
first taste of like, wow, this is crazy. I mean, it changed everything.
Yeah. That was when Cohn was pitching, right? He pitched 1 million pitches and
there's
there's
so many ex-Mariner, ex-Yankees, back and forth throughout in that 95 series. That's insane. You got Jeff Nelson, who also referee on his off season would referee high school basketball games up in Seattle.
Wow.
I ran into him last year at the All-Star game, and I reminded him of the time he was refereeing, and he had a big black eye. I said, and he actually remembered when he had this black eye because he said it happened to him at the gym. Like, I can't remember what the story was. He said somebody did something that he was working out with and gave him a black eye. You also had Tino Martinez, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Edgar was a Yankee product. Jay Buhner was a product. Mike Blowers was a Yankee product. And then, of course, we had the trade with you guys. Who else? Oh yeah, we had Luis Soho on the Mariners.
Soho, love Soho.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys on those 2 teams. I don't know who we traded. I could just look that up. Who we traded Tino Martinez for? I forgot. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but that was a good trade for us.
Man,
Yeah,
I remember
it
That
being so
solidified
happy.
first base and then right field, then relief pitching with Nelson. You know, that really,
I remember being like, "Wait, they got Martinez who killed us," and you're like,
yeah,
"No, it's the other Martinez."
yeah,
yeah, the other Martinez, the two Martinez, Tino and Edgar.
yeah. I had 2 bats from Tino Martinez that I got on the last day of
Wow.
baseball, 1993. He just was like handing shit out. There's like
Wow.
nobody at the game. Maybe it was 92. I don't know. It was a
Wow.
So the Mariners, here's who, I'm pulling up this trade. We traded Tino Martinez. Basically, there was something to do with arbitration, and they traded with Jim Messir, Mecir, and Jeff Nelson to the
Yeah.
Yankees in exchange for Russ Davis and Sterling Hitchcock.
Sterling Hitchcock. Yeah, he was supposed to be the next Gidry for the Yankees.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
stupid
remember
name.
they kept talking him up and everything like that, and
I hated his name even back then.
Sterling Hitchcock.
Yeah, it's just a stupid, stupid name.
Yeah.
For a guy to be like, "Hey,
It sounds like a-
Sterling Hitchcock, Sterling
Dude.
Hitchcock, he's gonna be the next Sterling Hitchcock," and it's just like, look,
Yeah.
we should have known.
He
Yeah.
sounds like a wristwatch.
Yeah.
The name of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, is it an actor?
Yeah.
Or just a?
Here we go. I'm gonna put this up on the
That's
screen.
so funny. You guys brought his name. I never thought in my life I would hear that stupid name again.
I'm gonna put this up.
To do what?
I said I never thought in my life I would hear that stupid name again.
Another bad trade we had with you guys that just nothing came of it. We actually sent you, and he didn't do much for you guys either. Oh God, I forgot his name. We trade you Pineda.
Pineda?
Yeah, but you guys sent us this catcher.
Montero.
Montero,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah, he
Bust.
was supposed to
What
another
a
guy.
bust.
They supposed up.
He was supposed to be Posada.
He was like a AAA bust. He wasn't even doing good down there.
He was supposed to be
Yeah.
Posada.
I mean, I love the Yankees, diehard Yankee fan, but they have a way of overinflating some of these prospects and making everybody think they're really super good. And then either if they don't trade them and they fade and they get nothing for them, or they trade them and it works out for them. Both scenarios I've seen. Montero was supposed to be the next,
Yeah,
Johnny Bench
Posada.
or something. Yeah, the next Posada and everything, and then he didn't work out.
So I just
Tino Martinez.
I just pulled up something on Lookout Landing here, and it goes, and basically I'm reading through this article when they traded him. You have to remember too, the Mariners were going to go to Tampa Bay. This was the whole.
Wow.
This is during this time, so they're doing weird stuff with their roster. But the Mariners, it says the other Martinez, Tino, was arbitration eligible in 1995 and looking to raise from his $500,000 paycheck in 1994 between $1 and $1.5 million in arbitration. The 94 was a breakout season for Tino, 97 games / 261, 320, 508, slugged 20 home runs and drove in 61 runs. Those numbers that projected a full season made it appealing in the lineup. Still, there were concerns over his consistency and tendency to get off to slow starts. In April and May, he batted .207 and hit 6 home runs. Compare that with July and August, where he was batting .348. I mean, this guy would hit big home runs down the stretch. In that 95 season, it goes basically, thankfully, the Mariners also recognized his value and decided to keep him. The 27-year-old was offered worth $1 million. The Mariners made the offer and gave him 4 hours to accept or decline. If he declined, he would become a free agent. It's possible would have made more money going into arbitration and hitting the free agent, but his relationship with Lou Piniella ended up being the factor. So Tino was from the Tampa Bay area, so was Lou. So it basically says they were just trying to lower the payroll and having too many arbitration, because I just don't understand why. So basically you guys got him in 96.
Yeah.
So we traded him after. So we also had Ken Griffey Jr.'s first contract, or this contract was supposed to end in 96. It was basically one of the things of just not having enough money to pay.
To me, it didn't
everybody.
make any, after playing you guys in 95, to me, it didn't make any sense why you would break up the Martinezes.
Yeah.
They were, they were
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. They were a great team. I mean, you know, a lot of big games, a lot of, pitching, hitting, everything. Defense.
Yeah, just two really good situational hitters. I mean, it was just like, wait, I was like, who's replacing Mattingly? And you were like,
Yeah,
Martinez?
I'm reading on here.
What?
I'm reading on here. They're talking about that too. That it had a lot to do with basically in that offseason, rumors came out that New York, before the Yankees had finished negotiation with their current first baseman, longtime Yankee Don Mattingly. Mattingly had been mulling over retirement, and the Yankees seemed eager to get rid of him so that they could replace their aging star. The Yankees were actually pursuing Fred McGriff. That's who you guys. It says that you guys were going after. Why not? Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
That dude hit everything.
Yeah.
Another option that you guys were looking at were Will Clark and Mark Grace. You were also mulling over re-signing third baseman Wade Boggs, or moving him to first base was a plan. The Yankees had a young third baseman, Russ Davis. God, I forgot, who's ready for the major leagues. And it also says here that the Mariners were all about, basically in this article, all about getting Sterling Hitchcock.
Yeah.
No, really, that's the straw that broke the camel's back there.
Yeah.
Sterling
Hitchcock. Yeah.
I think we must have seen him suck so many times.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the overhyped guys that they were, waiting for him to come through and everything, and it just never really
But we used to go
out for them.
We used to be at every Sunday game, Byron, and through those years, and sometimes you're kind of stuck in the rotation with the team, where you just see, how many times I'm like, man, we see the same pitcher start every time we go. Remember?
Yeah.
So we must have had like a 4-game Sterling Hitchcock sweep.
Yeah, we had that run.
Streak.
Yeah. That streak. Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But a lot of big games between the two teams. I mean, I remember when A-Rod first came in, he was like unbelievable. I mean, 19 years old and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. He was actually, like we were talking about, on that 95 team. He was actually the guy that was on deck after Edgar Martinez, I believe. So imagine if A-Rod, people got to fact check me. I'm pretty sure A-Rod was on deck.
He wasn't like in the leadoff, or
no, he actually was a substitution into the game for a pinch runner.
Wow.
And but imagine if Edgar, what if Griffey just got held up at third base, which was probably more of a logical thing, right? But he just, so imagine it's second and third, it's Edgar and it's Griffey, second and third, and A-Rod comes through with the hit. I mean,
yeah, you pick your poison there.
Yeah, maybe he would have been a better all-around playoff player if he gets that single right there, right at the start of the career, because he was a little shaky in the playoffs, wasn't he? I mean,
he would have, it took him a while to, he would either.
Took him a while. He came through big for the Yankees that year when Matsui got the World Series MVP.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was A-Rod who either tied the game or something with a home run.
Every single series.
In one of the playoffs.
Yeah, every single series he had
it was huge.
A game time hit against the other team's closer when we were down. Every single series in a big spot. But he turned it around. But he had flashes here or there. I mean, in 2004, before the Red Sox did the reverse sweep. And
don't talk about that. Don't talk about that.
I mean, but before the choke, A-Rod was hitting for something from the playoffs. You know,
I just if you go on the screen right there, can you see it?
yeah.
I just put Alex Rodriguez's
Numbers
postseason. So you look at 95 right here. 2 at bats, didn't do anything. 2 plate appearances the whole time, 1 strikeout. 97, obviously 313.
Yeah, nice numbers.
2000, 371. So as
Wow.
far as and then he doesn't get back to the Yankees till that year you don't want to talk about, but he hit 320. But then
but he was hitting like over 400 before the reverse sweep.
It's these years, 05 and 06, that it probably really digs at you. And then
you guys, he was an MVP.
Yeah.
And then so that was just a real bust. Wait, what about 07? What did he do? A little better. I mean, sometimes he would take the unfair criticism because the whole team would suck. You know, sometimes the whole team would suck, and then everybody was just would always be it's A-Rod, and it's like they did 800 things to not win. But no, then he earned his ring year for sure, and they don't win without him.
Yeah, definitely. As I was surprised when Matsui got the MVP. I think he got ripped off.
But Matsui's just a weird player who, when he was hot, he'd be like the sun level hot, and he just went off in the especially in the World Series. He just remember. I mean, you could throw something an inch off the floor, and Matsui somehow roping these things into the gap. But look, A-Rod never made the playoff. Texas never made the playoffs once. Wasn't he there for 3 years?
I think it popped something like that. At least 3 years. I think.
Yeah, look, 97. Sorry, 2000. Yeah, he was in Texas from 2001 to 2003.
Yeah, crazy. And he almost became a Red Sox.
Oh yeah, that's what was supposed to happen. I saw that. I knew about that, but if you don't know about it, you go watch that. Whatchamacallit, the
you know what's
the Jeter documentary.
You know what's
right.
You know what's another thing that people don't know? Steinbrenner wanted Ortiz, and everybody was like, "Whoa, that guy?" Steinbrenner was like, "No, we want him." Yankees used to do a lot of moves that would just be Red Sox blockers, but Steinbrenner himself wanted them to get this big potential lefty guy who, Ortiz wasn't that good before he got before that year, and and the Yankees didn't listen to Steinbrenner, and then Ortiz turned into a
monster,
our all-time biggest
Yankee killer.
Yeah, so. But you got to credit Steinbrenner for being like wanting that, just add that guy to the team. Like, well, we don't want a DH, guy. And he would like they listened to him. Imagine how different everything is.
Well, you know who Big Papi is a product of, right?
You guys?
Yeah, we traded him to the Minnesota Twins. But I'm going to put this thing on here. Let's see. I'll put this video on here. Right here. This is like there's what was I saying? Here we go. Look, 1996. There was a rain out. This is a pretty good video to watch sometimes, but basically,
I've heard of
there was a rain out when the Mariners were going to some little town, and so they decided to have a home run derby, and David Ortiz beat Griffey and Junior, and then they were talking about that on they always talk about it, and then they fucking traded him.
He beat. He just happened to be called up.
Yeah, no, he didn't even get. He never.
Oh, they just put him in the derby.
Yeah.
And he beat Griffey and A-Rod. Yeah, and Steinbrenner's like, I want that guy. And they
and A-Rod, as the story goes, according to him, he basically told the front office and the coach, you got to bring this guy up, and then they turned around and traded him.
My God.
But he was drafted by the name of, I think, David Arias was his name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see. I'll pull that up. I think I'm right about that. Because there's like some sort of. Yes, let me pull up his Wikipedia here. David Ortiz, baseball reference. Yeah.
Somebody just asked, what do you guys think about the trade? Was that
Oh, the Mariners trade?
they just made a trade?
Yeah. So this is from Y2K Ha. I believe they're talking about this Mariners trade right here.
Oh,
I-
nice hot shot.
I'm gonna
by
pull this
Soto
up.
here.
Oh, 3-0. That's yeah, we acquired Mike Bauman. Is that how you say his name? Mike Bauman. Basically, we acquired bullpen somebody from the Orioles. I feel like my feelings behind it, anytime the Mariners go out and get somebody I've never heard of that's a bullpen pitcher or is a journeyman pitcher, the Mariners are kind of like the pitching whisperer, right? Like they just kind of find somebody that you look at their line and you go, what the fuck? And then they basically, which doesn't seem like rocket science to me, they're like, this is what you do good. This is what you don't do. And they'll just be like, you're just going to do this. You know, that seems like they just find what people do. Usually it's people that can do that sweeper. It
That's
seems
the new
like
thing.
that's the thing. If they can see something that you can do with the sweeper, that seems like to be the Mariners thing. I mean, obviously they've had the top 5, if not the best bullpen the last couple of years.
I feel like the
so
Yankees.
thank you for the question.
I feel like the Yankees.
What do you think? Put it in the comments.
I feel like the Yankees, the Mariners have been fleecing us. We always have a pitcher from you guys, right?
Yeah.
Dan, over the years, recent years,
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
were looking, when we didn't really have the pitching, and we're looking, we've always had some guy from Seattle that was. So you guys might have burned us on Montero, and we might have burned you on Montero, but who was it like a couple years
Randy
ago?
Johnson was terrible.
Yeah,
for
but
us.
I mean, we got him after all of that. If we got him back then, oof.
Oh,
Damn.
come on, Rayleigh. You got it.
That's a double.
Wow.
Man,
Soto, man,
Judges on the Judgian tear.
on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
just
just
want
nothing but
one
home
of these
runs
guys.
and-
It's hard to say I want somebody like Judge because
But he
he's
just-
1 in a million. But
He's hitting a home run or a double like almost every
Yeah.
at bat
Like
the past
who?
2 weeks.
Aaron Judge, 107 off the bat.
Wow.
He scorched that. And Spire, the guy he hit it off of, he's been nails all year. He's pretty much a big spot, high leverage specialist that I think we got from like the Kansas City Royals. It was one of those guys that you're like, who? We got him like last season, I believe, before, or maybe it was the beginning of last season. But he's good. He's real tough on lefties. So
And yeah, you like Verdugo cleanup?
I put the bat on the ball, so I mean that's what you need.
oh
know
God,
what?
there's an OJ documentary playing on here. Hold on, I gotta turn this off. Let's get it
Yeah,
back.
see what I got.
This is hilarious.
My mom I'm watching on my. Wow,
Hold
OJ.
on, I gotta remove
Yeah,
that.
I guess. Oh man.
I mean, he puts the bat on the ball for the most part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, just because it's just like, all right, well, to put a lefty and maybe more of a bat on the ball, a guy between Judge and Stanton, so you don't have a, just like, could Rizzo there, you could strike all 3 of them out in a row, but
he just put sacrifice fly. That's all you need.
no, you're right. I mean,
You got to get a few runs on there because you never know when the bullpen's going to be on or off. I mean,
yeah. You know what's funny
But they
about
talk about what
about the Holmes blown save is he's got I mean, even though he was untouched to that point, he gets in and out of trouble a lot. or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Remember
it really does.
the whole beginning of the season, like I feel like his first 6 saves were like, 2 base hits or a walk, and then like
Yeah.
then he got it together. But it's like, so even though he had been perfect, there's been millions of times where it's just one more hit away
Oh
from.
yeah,
So
and he's
I
letting
gotta give that
other
for
pitchers. He's
yeah,
been letting in other pitchers runs and everything, and then his runs don't score. But I mean,
yeah,
there's been quite a few, close calls where you're saying like, "Oh, we're gonna lose this game,"
yeah. And I
and
know
just managed to pull it out.
Hanno from the this Myron's partner in the podcast was saying that he was like, what was Boone thinking, because he clearly didn't have it. And my defense would be like, although we do know that sometimes Boone's just looking for somebody who stinks, but that's kind
He
of
just overmanages the bullpen and the pitching.
yeah. But my
The guys-
defense of
guys-
him would be that that's how Holmes gets his saves. You know what I mean? It's not always clean. So he might have been like, oh, this is just another Holmes giving up 2 hard hits or whatever it is, and he'll get a double play and a strikeout, and we'll be out of here.
Well, that game, the defense helped him either. Our buddy Glaber made another error,
Yeah.
and that didn't help anything. I mean, so you got that too. It should have been an out or whatever, and now all of a sudden another runner on base, and
Yeah.
you got 2 guys on now instead of an out.
When Glaber's gone, and Volpe's is looking like a clear major leaguer, I would even say if a good shortstop becomes available, you could always move Volpe to second.
Yeah.
He's good, but
Well,
he
the
does
other
kind of
guy they
botch a
had-
play here
Well,
or there.
hey, speak of the guy, we got him. This is the guy we just traded for, stepping in here.
Mike
Right
Bauman.
here. This is his Mariner debut.
Oh, Bauman. Oh, wow.
So do you guys,
guess
you guys, this is who we got. So have you guys have faced him before?
I don't. Not
Yeah.
sure who he is.
Just a
Did
fucking
you
wild.
see Stanton's last at bat with the bases loaded at 3-2 pitch?
What terrible
Did
call?
you see that? No, he was full count, bases loaded. He missed a couple of good pitches. Then he struck out on a ball that was like 3 feet outside in the other bat.
Swinging?
He did one of those a swinging lunge like that with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the bat on the ball, that's one thing. But when you're swinging at bad pitches like that, I mean, I know these guys have a lot of movement on the ball and everything else, but I mean, that you could see that coming from a mile away that was ball 4 for sure. But
Man.
anyway, he's been hitting well and everything else, and coming through.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
don't
he's
forget, this is
pissed.
a guy
Well,
who
he's gotten hit in the face
I give
before.
him a lot of credit. There's a guy who got hit in the face and then he comes back and he hits like 58 home runs, and
Yeah.
right, he hit 58 home runs
I think
after he got hit in the
59,
face, right?
right?
Or 59 or whatever,
Yeah.
yeah. But that was after he got hit in the face,
Yeah.
What's
That-
crazy is this
you're-
guy, his first day on the team, almost gets you in a fight. Comes in and throws a pass ball and almost gets you in a fight.
That must suck for
Yeah,
the team to
thanks.
be like, I guess we have to stick up for this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just said hi to him. Now we got to go out and run out there.
Yeah, so we just
Uh-huh.
played Baltimore, lost the series 2-1. So I'd have to go back and look and see if this guy got in the game. Well, I mean, the Mariners, they need to keep adding bullpen guys, and even though they have a good bullpen, and I think they'll keep adding people because they run their bullpen so ragged because they never can just, we don't win very seldomly, I should say, barely ever have games where we're going to win 6-1. It's sick. It's broken up in the 7th inning. Like we get like one of those every 2 weeks. So a lot of the time it's all high leverage. So
Yeah.
the pull. We got Stanek from Houston. The guy with the long mullet, and he was great the first month, but last month he got touched up a bit because he's like 31 or 32. He's pitched a lot of lot of games, a lot of playoff games. You can't run somebody like that ragged early. They just don't last.
Yeah.
And so, oh my God.
No.
Oh, this okay.
Oh,
So,
5-0. You can pretty much. I know you guys saw what happened the other night, but and again, that was 1.5% chance for the Mariners to win after you guys got the first out. They said.
So wait a sec. Jahmai Jones. Oh, he's running for Stanton. All right.
Yeah. Has this guy been on the team the whole year?
They just got him today.
No, Jones.
Oh, no.
This other
They got him in the first couple weeks when Birdie got hurt. I
So
believe.
that's from last week for like the first time. I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
They got him.
I've never even seen him.
Remember, Birdie got hurt immediately.
Yeah.
We got another question. This is actually good with your dad on here. Y2KHA or Y2K ha. Is that how you say it? Y2K ha. What was your reaction when the Mariners traded Jay Buhner to the M's? I think this is for you guys. This is directed.
Wow.
So what was your reaction to when Jay Buhner? To me, for me, before I let you guys answer this, for me, as a Mariners fan, he just kind of appeared. You know, I was young when this happened, and Jay Buhner was always kind of just like that balding right fielder they had, and then he turned into the bone. You know, Mr. Buzzcut. But how about John? What do you?
I mean, I think at that point he had a great arm, great reputation for being an excellent outfielder and a great arm, and his hitting was okay. You know what I mean? From what I'm trying to remember here, this is so long ago. I was probably a little bit upset, because, like I said, defense and the arm, you need somebody good out there who can catch the ball and people are afraid to run on and stuff like that. But, when he turned it around as soon as he went to Seattle, and he just became a monster. And it was just like, wow. They've been, there's a time, you watch Seinfeld?
Yes, I've recently gotten into it.
Yeah, you see when what's his name? Constanza's father rips Steinbrenner apart for trading Jay Buhner.
Yeah, that is a famous scene. For baseball fans from that. Jay Buhner and Griffey just became really good friends. I remember at one point because we traded him, or he was going to get traded to the Orioles. I'll have to look that up to stat to make sure. And then something didn't happen, and then the rumors were that Griffey was a big part of keeping Jay Buhner on the team, and then he turned into what we know him as, because this was like in 1993. Oh yeah, and you guys got Ken Phelps, right?
Oh boy, yeah.
Kenny Phelps. That was one of the first Mariners I ever can remember, and my uncle hated him.
Yeah, I mean, what was he, like a 130 hitter at that time or something like that? Whenever he hit for power, but he wasn't. From what I remember, he wasn't that much of a hitter. So that was a terrible trade. Looking back at what he did for them and what Jay Buhner did for Seattle.
So
that was a pretty bad trade.
I had no idea that Buhner was a Yankee.
What?
Well, no. I mean, like, I just remember him being a good Mariner.
Yeah, no, that was he was probably one of the better Yankees that they had at the time. But I don't think he had come into his own yet, other than defensively.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when he went to the Mariners, it was just like a whole new guy, and he added the offense to it too and everything. But Ken Phelps came here, and center field was Death Valley. He would hit a lot of balls dead center field that didn't go anywhere. Can of corn kind of stuff. Not can of corn, but I mean, they weren't leaving the park. He was just hitting to the wrong part of the park and stuff like that and everything, and he just never really I don't even know how long he played with the Yankees. Stuff. Maybe a year or two, maybe before they got rid of him or something, or he retired.
Say that again.
I'm not even sure how long Phelps
Yeah, well,
played.
I'll tell you what. The one thing I do remember now when Jay Buhner came, and it wasn't because it was Jay Buhner. It was I do remember when I was a kid when Ken Phelps got traded, and I was like, "What?" Because he did hit home runs. Like for the Mariners, it seemed like he hit a lot.
Yeah,
Compared to who was on the
yeah.
team, it was him and Jim Presley and Alvin Davis and Mickey Brantley. That was pretty much like kind of like the offense
Wow.
back around then. So Henry
Yeah.
Cotto. But
Wow, Henry Cotto.
yeah, so I do remember Harold Reynolds, not a home run hitter, but I do remember him being traded. So when I was just because I was pulling this up right now, but he played like a couple more years because he came back in Mariners history. He part of it is there was a pitcher named Brian Holman that the Mariners had, and he fizzled out, but he was really good and young. He was like 1 out away from pitching a perfect game in Oakland, and Ken Phelps pinched hit and fucking took him a yard. And so he got a one hitter. And then Brian Holman was all right. Like he had an all right rest of his year. And then after that, his career just never was the same. But he was 1 out. Ken Phelps cold, down there in the Bay Area late one night, like May. So there's fucking ice cold,
Wow.
crickets in the stands, just boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ken Phelps, it was somebody that always was kind of around. And a friend of mine growing up, I believe Ken Phelps went to Ingram High School in Seattle, if that's correct. And somebody was like a family friend of a friend of mine growing up. So that's my Ken Phelps thing. But I remember I was telling you that the Mariners were going to trade him to Baltimore, and that wasn't it. It was that he was a free agent and was pretty much going down the aisle of signing with the Orioles, and then I think Griffey kind of stopped it. I believe. I think that's the story. That's the urban legend. But you talk about that Seinfeld.
Yeah, episode. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look it up, it's like let me see. I'll pull this up. Seinfeld, Jay Buhner. I'll pull it up on my other one. Yeah, there's something. I'm looking up stuff. I'm googling. It's like Frank Costanza wishes you happy Jay Buhner, Ken Phelps. So this is trade anniversary. So like the Rich Eisen show just had something on this. I mean, yeah, every sign. I bet you there's more Seinfeld fans that are in the know of the name Ken Phelps than maybe baseball fans, or not, and Jay Buhner. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I was just gonna.
I think so.
What do you think about that, Vlad? Would this be a fair assessment that more Seinfeld fans, meaning more people, maybe know the name or the reference of Jay Buhner and Ken Phelps than maybe baseball fans?
Yeah, I guess.
Because of the Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, and because he's like Jay Buhner in Mariner, lore. He's a Mariner Hall of Famer, right?
We got a war brewing?
Yeah.
We might have a war brewing.
How long did
Ty
he?
France gets hit by everything.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
He's on the.
How long did he play for the Mariners?
Jay Buhner?
Yeah.
He played from when you guys traded us through, I believe the 2002 season was
So almost 10 years?
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
Wow.
That's what I mean. To me, he was just a
Yeah,
Mariner.
who's this left pitcher that he brought in?
Gonzalez?
To give up. And he just goes too crazy with the bullpen, this guy, man, Here we go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how long He was with the Yankees maybe 3 years or so.
Yeah, I'll pull that up right now. I got so many goddamn screens going that I don't even know what to.
I have a question. When are you guys going to be doing the baking part? You guys
we've been baking things in the
okay.
in between innings.
I forgot my.
Oh, okay.
I
It's
forgot
my
my
day off.
weed.
I
I
don't
forgot
have
my
anything
pipe.
going on today. I have an audition but it's not due until Saturday, so I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Oh.
But that's about all I got going on.
That.
That was about my end of that. Let me see here. How do I get it? Okay.
Matt Chapman's on fire. Home run
Yeah.
3 days in a row.
I need to get my screens all fixed up. I got the camera screens over here now, and then this thing's over here. I got to get set up again. Because I'm about to present.
Buhner?
Yeah, I found some Buhner stuff. I really need like one more person that can do this kind of stuff, right? Like when I do this live, like it's different when we're doing a regular one because I can just go back and add things or whatever. But it's okay. How do I just pull up? Okay, I pulled that up. Jay Buhner stats.
Yeah.
All right, so
Judge, last 12 of his 14 hits have been for extra bases.
Career WAR 23. OPS 852. That's pretty good. Slugging 494. You know, never got more 310 home runs. You know, less than 1,000 RBIs. So that's, I mean, I think he had a couple Gold Gloves. Let's see here.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, well, here's his jersey numbers. I don't know what these are. So when he's with the Yankees, he was issued the number 54. Then he was 43 when he first came to the Mariners. I did not know that. And then he was 19. He did have a Gold Glove. He did at one time was an All-Star. So for the Mariners, he played from 88 when he traded him to the Mariners until I was almost right. He played through the 2001 season. So
wow, from 88.
Yeah. So
wow.
13, 14 seasons.
13 years. Wow.
With the Mariners, yeah. Chris Copacino, he told this story. He was the guy who just came on before you, but he told me this story that he was known as the mad shitter. And basically,
Buhner?
Jay Buhner would shit in like, I don't know if Street would just shit in things. Like he'd go into the opposing team's locker room and like shit in people's helmets and hats. It was like a known thing.
Oh my
and he
God,
told this whole story. Yeah, that's Jay Buhner. So I never could think of him. I don't know if it's true or not, but just it was But he had it must be true if they had a nickname for him, right? The Mad Shitter.
Well, Boone's Quest today went Gonzalez, who pitched well, but now it's Birdie.
Wow. Well, so far, 2 relief pitchers, 2 guys on base.
See
what happens.
Batman and a walk.
Hit Batman and a walk, yeah. Yeah. What's this? The top of the 8th. Nicky Crawford. So, how many? Let me see something. Could you scroll down on that?
You
on his stats?
Yeah.
20. What I'm guessing he's a home run. 23, 29.
Let's see, 20. Like this is where he started really getting it going right here. Like 1991, 27, 25, 27, 21. Yeah. Then he made a jump to 40, 44, 40, 15, 14, 26. Then 2. He was injury plagued. He was coming to the end there in 2001. And that team was so good that, we had like somebody like Stan Javier that would platoon out there or whatever. Yeah. We had like this is like when we were all flip-flopping Ruben Sierra around, He was like the guy that always just showed up on a playoff team all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just what he does. Let me see. Jay Buhner's. I mean, like even when we're looking at the numbers, going 25 and this and that, like man, those are good numbers now. Like Jay Buhner's stats in today's baseball, like his value would be
Man.
better because he struck out all the time, which they don't care if they strike out as much as they possibly can. It
Yeah,
doesn't
they
matter.
don't care.
Yeah, there's no like if you struck out that much,
Yeah.
you were going to the minors. And
Yeah.
I'm
The old days, yeah.
I'm looking at this year. Where was this when he was first starting out with the Mariners? You know, 1988. You know, he hit 16 home runs. Then 89, sorry, 9 home runs, not a lot of plate appearances.
God.
1990 again. So like the Mariners, he really didn't do anything from 88, 89, 90, 90 and then all of a sudden in 90 91 he seemed to just
Yeah.
figure it all out. 27 home runs and followed up in 25 and then 93 27. Then look at this 94 he hit 21, but remember that was the strike year.
All right, look at this.
So
Yeah.
he would have hit
Loaded.
30 home runs.
Bases loaded.
Yeah.
Birdie don't got it.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, just looking at the numbers here, he really didn't turn it on offensively until the Mariners after a couple of years. And then he just, became a hitting machine now.
Yeah, so pretty much from
And then we started hearing about him,
Yeah.
after he started putting the numbers up.
91 to 97 he was just a terror. Well, look, we actually got a situation here. We got your guys' favorite Aaron Boone walking out to the mound. We got bases
My
loaded,
favorite.
2 outs. Luke Raley, the hottest Mariner, coming up to
But
play.
hold on
We
a
got a
sec.
ball game, folks.
Hold on a sec.
Kind of.
Birdie, he inherited a walk. I mean, a hit batter, right? How are you allowed to take him out? Did he face 3? Did he even get an out? Oh, he must have gotten out.
I think he got it now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so bases loaded, 2 outs, relief pitcher number what coming in?
3.
Number 3 or 4? 3.
So
see what happens
Gonzalez
there.
hit somebody, and he took him out. But Birdie, I mean, he was throwing balls an inch off the floor.
He just overmanages the bullpen and the pitching staff. He's just, the guy's cruising along, 80 pitches, gives up a walk, you're out of the game.
We had another question from Y2K Hot. Do you guys see any potential trade that fits Yankees and Mariners? I said too risky because they're in the window. They were both in.
Yeah,
like we're competing against each other right now. We're just top of the division teams.
They've made millions of. They're always dealing with each other.
Okay,
You gotta admit that.
Oh yeah, I mean we just talked about it.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't think we're really making any trades right now. We got people coming off the IL. I just don't see the Yankees making a trade until later and seeing what they need.
They've been doing a lot of waiver pickups and stuff like
all
that.
that kind of stuff.
And, you bring up a hitter, he hangs around for 2 days, and then they release him. Just like bring up an outfielder, let him,
Yeah, so the Yankees Mariners can have something going on that type of level, but in terms of like major league level, I don't see anything for them. And you guys don't have anybody that I would want.
Well, the guy we want, they'll never give up. They just signed him. Castillo.
I mean,
yeah,
I guess,
that's who we want.
I guess I have to take that back too because we just made a trade with the Orioles. So
yeah, that's what I mean on the like reliever wise, and when everybody's trying to
anything big, no, I don't see anything big. It would just be like
I don't see the Yankees making.
It would just
any
be
big
like
trades.
we'll take this reliever that you guys don't really need, and we'll give you I don't know. I mean, like the Mariners right now,
You guys should be
their need
shopping.
is we need something big.
Yeah, we don't have any. We're not.
We
I don't
need
see
somebody
us
from the Mets.
trading
We
anybody.
need whatever Miami's still got. You know, typically Anaheim will never trade with us anything big like that.
Trout.
Well, he's injured, but yeah.
Oh yeah, wait. How bad is it?
I think he returns.
Oh,
This year.
Trout?
I think he can return
Trout.
this year, but I don't think he comes back until like
I think
September.
July or something. They
Oh,
said
Oh, July.
God.
8 to 10 weeks maybe or
He's
something.
kind of doing the Griffey thing right now, where
You have to
part of
forget
it,
about him.
this part of well, not that. Well, I'm not saying that, but I mean like that part of his career where he's played over a decade at a high extreme level, collecting MVPs, X, Y, and Z, and then just the body just starts to.
I don't remember Griffey in
Well,
the 2000s.
Well, he got hurt
His
right. He
resignation
got
at all.
he got hurt. I think the second year he wasn't like all of his injuries though were like rough injuries. One was his knee buckled going around like I think he was like in a pickle between
Oh,
third and home, and then the other ones were slamming into the wall.
Yeah,
You know,
he
so
did a lot of that.
yeah, so I mean, like Trout's kind of unfortunately the last 3 years he's
Yeah,
been getting like banged up. You know who else
Yeah,
gets
he's been-
banged up too is his old teammate who's in the Dodgers,
Ohtani.
Ohtani. Dude, he's always got a rib issue
Well,
or
he
something.
started his career hurt. You
Tommy
know,
John, right? No.
Tommy John.
This
He
is the
didn't-
second time he's done
he
it.
got his first year pitching. He didn't pitch for the rest of the year. Maybe not the next year. But you know he pulled it together. I mean, Judge was the same thing. It just seemed like there's always something going on, and we're still not completely out of the woods with that. Based on last year, but everybody, the injuries is you can't even blame anybody anymore because everybody's hurt all the time.
Unfortunately,
Tatis was out for it seemed like years.
yeah, he was out for a while. After they signed the big contracts and everything, then they go down for
Motorcycle
60
accident.
games or whatever. Well, actually, and then he got suspended too, Tatis.
Yeah,
He got suspended for steroids or something.
yeah. How do you get tested for that when you're not even?
How long? Let me ask you guys this: how long have you guys fantasized over getting Mike Trout coming back up there?
That's
Doesn't
him.
he
He's a
from-
Trout guy. I'm not because I wasn't really following. When the Yankees were bad again, and my dad would always be talking Trout, even to the point
He has
where
52 home runs.
we would
against
argue
the
about it
Mariners.
because I'd say Judge is the best, and he would always defend Trout. And now Trout is, he hasn't
He gets
played.
hurt every year.
Well,
Yeah.
let's look at Trout's stats here. Let me zoom this in a little.
Find a good season's worth of numbers for, I would say,
There's
5
49
years.
stolen bases 1 year, 33.
Trout?
Yeah, we're looking
Yeah.
at his stats
God.
right now.
That's a lot.
That was an animal, yeah.
And he, Trout, I believe. I'm gonna look this up on another thing. Trout home runs against team. I think against the Mariners, he has 54 home runs against the Mariners in his career.
Wow.
And the guy's been hurt.
Wow. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
he was on pace to having like 100 home runs against the Mariners. Like if he could, I think now with the pitching we have, maybe that might not happen a lot, but like it was like an inaugural, it was just, or I should say it was just like clockwork. That's the word. When Felix Hernandez, he would just automatic first inning home run to Trout. Just hope nobody's on base.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Just bombs. Him and Ohtani were such a scary duo that it's like what a fucking waste by the Angels. You have those guys on your team for the better part of a decade.
They just made bad other decisions,
Look at Rendon. That
He
was a
sucks.
terrible.
Oh yeah,
He's bad.
I don't know
They-
what
he's got the
made-
worst
He's average
attitude.
like
Yeah, his attitude's terrible too.
everything.
What is the average? Like 40 or 50 games a year?
Yeah.
The last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, Hano's
makes a ton
famously
of
said, my co-host, he always admits, he goes, he would be lying if he said he wasn't just wishing he got Rendon after when he was at free agent and the Angels got him, and he was like, fuck. And then he's like, oh man, talk about dodging a bullet.
Never a buyer of him personally, but I mean, and then he had the balls to say he thinks the season's too long.
Yeah, the guy plays 50 games a year.
Yeah,
Too long for him.
And then he doubled down on it, and now he's an ass.
but we hate him in Seattle because of that brawl that we were down in here in Anaheim, the one with Jesse Winker. That was Rendon and him.
Oh, was it?
You were at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. I will check. Yes, I was at the game. So let me tell you a story. I've said this on the podcast before. I went to every game that series, and I was there the night before, and something was brewing. Like after the game, they were like going back and forth. Like the teams were not going in the dugout, and I was like right on top of the dugout. You could kind of just hear unaudible scream. And here's why: the Mariners were kicking the shit out of the Angels, and it happened to be like their firework night or whatever. So they didn't want Angels fans to like leave. So they cranked up the music. You'd have thought the Angels won the game. They were just keeping the atmosphere going. I noticed this is happening, then the lights drop really quick because they're getting like they literally got the fireworks thing going like 2 minutes after the game. And so the music starts playing, whatever, it's like Disney or something. I forget about it. I show back up the next day. I'm hanging out in the parking lot, having a White Claw, and talking to Hanno on my co-host on the phone, just kind of slamming down this drink. Game started, and all of a sudden I could hear on the radio, and he was like, "Uh-oh, something's going on." And I was like, "How could I forget?" And I fucking threw my shit in the car, and I sprinted into the stadium like I was coming out of the bullpen in a fight. And I finally, and I get in. You know, I got to go through security and all this shit. There's not people in line, so it was really quick. I get to my seat, and right when I get there, they had already went through the big part of the fight. But as I sat down, it was when that relief pitcher threw the big old all the gum onto the field. Like he took a big thing of tray, big tray. He threw it, and all the Mariners were so fucking hot under the collar. They were about to go out and fight him, and he wasn't even sending that towards the Mariners. He was doing that towards the umpire that like threw him out or did something. But the Mariners were so just ready to pounce. But that game was bad because the Mariners lost all of their good play. Like we lost J.P. Crawford, Winker, who was heating up, Julio Rodriguez. I forgot. It was like the middle of our order. And so then the Mariners lost that game, and then they lost one more. And then they went on a 14-game winning streak. And up to that point, I think they won like 7 in a row. So it would have been like a fucking, if they didn't get in that fight, maybe, we're talking a winning streak into the 20s that year. But it was like the Angels sent all their like goons. They're basically their hockey goons to fight all the guys that were like the middle of the lineup for the Mariners. It's like, if you look at the list of people get thrown out of the game, there's no Trout, there's no Ohtani. You got Rendon, who was on the injured list. You got Bill Hasselman, who's a coach, who's a former Mariner. And then just a bunch of like guys that I think like when they went back to go play the Angels last year, they were like, there's like out of all the people that were involved in the fight and got thrown out, there's nobody but Rendon.
Here's Holmes.
Not even,
Yankees up 5.
and they had Phil Nevin as a manager. He's a sack of shit.
Yeah, that's Booney's good friend who Boone threw out under the bus there when they fired him.
Wait, who?
Yeah. And supposedly he's really good friends with Boone. He was one of Boone's coaches. And they fired him, and Phil Nevin. He's supposedly a real good friend of Boone. And he was one of the coaches. And then they said they had to fire him. And Boone re-signed with the Yankees instead of, I was reading a story that Buck Showalter quit because they wanted to fire his coaches. And he says, "You fire the coaches, I'm you're firing me too. I'm leaving." And they fired the coaches, and he left. I forgot for what team it was. But Boone just, he said, "Hey, sorry, Phil, you're on your own. I'm resigning here." So much for having your back on your coaches and your good friends there and everything.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, Buck's
getting another
quit.
job. But Buck's getting another job.
You know why they call him Buck? Did you hear the story why they call him Buck?
No.
He used to walk around naked in the locker room. I just heard that yesterday or the day before they were talking. That's how he got his nickname. Walk around buck naked.
Damn, he must have been doing it for a long time because that's only been his, I don't even know what his name is. I thought it was Buck.
No. I forgot what his name is. But yeah, they were just saying that yesterday or the day before. That's how he got his nickname. Buck naked.
Well, here's a question I would ask you. And if you're gonna kill Boone for not sticking up for his coaches, Buck Showalter knows that. I mean, especially in that era, if he walks out of a job, he's walking into another one. If Boone says that same thing, and they say, "All right, well, you're out of here," who's hiring him?
Yeah.
Now,
well, if you listen to
Michael K, they'll say he could have a job
they'll
tomorrow.
Have a job tomorrow. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, look, they hire new coaches all the time. Manager. They hire new managers all the time.
Yeah.
Alex Cora was new a couple years ago.
I don't know if it was with the Orioles or whatever. The way he says no, he's my coach. If he goes, I'm out of here. And they told him bye. But yeah, everybody thinks he's going to get another job again. I mean,
is this his last year?
Well, managing? He's not. He's out. He's out. What's he doing now? Buck. What isn't he? Wasn't he a comment?
Yeah. I don't know if he's already back. I don't know if he's already back on TV.
I think I thought he was.
He just gets on TV until someone wants to hire him.
Yeah.
I
don't think he's on the.
He's the guy that can. He's the guy who can build up an organization, but just not fully deliver at the end.
He's good for. It seems like he's
he molded
2,
the Yankees.
3 good years or whatever,
he did some molding for the Yankees. They did some molding for Arizona, the Orioles, and then got the Mets kind of turned around.
But also
101.
Yeah, I know that was crazy. But with the Yankees, when they put it in the same situation, because he did the same for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, he's like a come off the bench kind of manager.
Well,
like, you know what I mean?
Turn your franchise.
Yeah, get
around.
him in here and then get him out of here before he starts fucking shit up.
But Torrey also got all the toys.
Yeah, he did.
The good ones.
Remember the game where Buck Showalter was going to fight LaRussa behind home plate? We were there.
Yeah.
Buck started. Yeah, they both went right behind home plate. They was gonna
the face to face.
Yeah,
they don't really see the managers face to face screaming in the game.
Yeah. Buck and LaRussa behind home. That was funny. You were excited. I remember. I think that was your first brawl or something at a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like really excited. Well, like, oh my God, look at this.
Yeah, so I mean, we could see everything perfectly there.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I got it right here.
The first brawl I was at was against.
See it, the brawl?
Yeah, I'll pull it up, and we'll see it. I'll have to catch it before it goes to some OJ.
We seen the Yankees Oakland brawl at some point. That was the first one I had been at. I don't know if we've been at more. Benches clearing.
No, just a Buck. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Here it is. Wilson and Showalter. You seen it?
So what is he pissed at?
Madly with the stretch. God, what a great first baseman. Should be in the Hall of Fame.
He's not?
No. He's the #1 player that should be in the Hall of Fame. You can put Fred
Madly?
Yeah, if you can put Fred.
How is he not?
Fred McGriffin and Don Mattingly.
He's got MVPs. What's he got? 2?
He's got a batting championship for sure, and maybe one MVP, maybe.
So they're arguing over. Basically, it looks like they're arguing over. I don't know how this is setting up here. Oh, Willie Wilson objected to a pitch by Melito Perez.
Oh, the Perez's era.
And benches empty in the fourth when LaRusse and Buck Showalter go at it.
Yeah, they're the ones who toss the benches. Mattingly won 1 MVP. All right, that's
congratulations. You guys got the split. That's all you were praying for after the first 2 games. You were talking about doing this podcast. You were like, well, because we got to do the actual one in like 3 hours. But let's watch this fight before we.
Brocious. Wait, so what's he mad at?
So he's objecting to a pitch inside. Here we go.
What year is this?
Yeah,
92.
Wow. Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one we were. Yeah, that was. I don't. We've never been at another.
Somebody
one.
else wearing 24 before Tino. Ron Darling.
Ricky
Henderson was on the
number
Orioles.
24.
I mean, on the A's.
Yeah, 92. This is a good Oakland A's team and a trying to figure it out Yankees team. Uh-oh. I got to figure out how I do the audio on here. There's a way I just haven't. This was like the perfect game just to look at other stuff for the Mariners, at least. Let's see. You got Buck Showalter. I'm waiting for Tony La Russa to get into the act here.
No, they're the ones who kicked it off.
Oh, yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Where were you guys sitting in the stadium?
First base side, right behind first base, maybe 15 rows back, you think?
Yeah. Right in the beginning of the
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We were covered when it rained or snowed from the overhang. Bathroom was right there. We had the 2 end seats. It was the main section, the walkway, and then we were row F, I think it was.
Yeah.
So
old Yankee Stadium. It was just a perfect view of the.
Unbelievable. You could see everything. The calls at the plate. You know, the plays at first base. They were just unbelievable.
Lansford, remember him?
Yeah.
These were like, these were good years. Like, I remember watching baseball as a kid. This was like, Griffey had been playing for a couple of years. Fucking just hated the Toronto Blue Jays with the passion. That was the team I hated the A's and the Blue Jays when I was a kid. The Yankees were, like historic.
Do they clear again here?
They must.
No, there's actually 2 minutes on this, minute and a half on this video. Something else has to happen. Yeah, I mean the Yankees probably should have had what a 3-1 series lead.
Yeah, I think the Mariners.
The other game was yours for sure.
Stole one.
Beat our closer for the first time. I mean, what did it? Whatever.
We got 3 more games on the road trip. They're going to Washington. So between going through a hot Baltimore team and a hot Yankees team, we are 3-4 so far on the road trip. But you could go into Washington and maybe win 2 or 3 or sweep them, and then you go, hey, that's a good road. Like for the Mariners, they got a 3-game lead going into it. It's like stay out of the. They've done a good job of staying out of those like 4 or 5 game losing streaks. So they bounce back quite.
Yeah, I wouldn't count
good.
Houston out. Yet they still have all good players.
You know what's crazy about this fight we were watching here? The guy fouls the ball off defensively. and he's complaining.
Because that it was a close pitch.
Yeah, watch it.
Man, look at
And
that.
that's not anywhere near him.
That's deep. That Stanton home run is deep. 445.
No, these were some fucking twin tower.
Let's see.
Can't say twin tower
Let's see
bombs.
this one.
I can't-
Oof.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Oh, Dad, add that to the list of the Yankees, Stanton, both home run in a game wins.
And then you manufactured some runs. This is what killed. This is what did it. Well, the game was over when it was 1-0. So I was complaining. I was starting to get nervous about 2-0, 3-0. Fuck, it was over after 1-0.
Yeah. Well,
mean-
we should wrap this up. But thanks for
Yeah.
Okay.
calling down. I'll call you later.
Sorry for the problems, man.
No,
Sure.
it sounds
We're
good.
trying to get
We're gonna do this more
Uh-huh.
often. We're gonna do the wake and bake more often. We're probably gonna just turn on, find one day a week that there's a bunch of morning games, and then just do the morning games and just bullshit about baseball.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
talk just a league wide. So, but
Yeah.
thanks.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Nice talking to you guys.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye.
All right,
All right.
that was John from Wallingford, Connecticut, calling in. So I think we started to figure out what we're doing here.
Yeah. Let's
As
wrap.
the show went. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. We are signing off, but Rye Bread and Mustard will be back later tonight, early tomorrow, with an episode talking about this Yankee series with Vladimir Perez. All right. End stream.